to the Let's Talk About It with Keola podcast. And today, as you can see, I have two guests with me, my daughter Sydney and my son Savon. And today we're going to talk about life as a young adult. This is the kind of shenanigans that goes on. So today,
this the kind of
that goes on. And so see what I'm saying? Y'all see what I'm saying? So anywho, we're going to talk about life as a young adult. And so I am just excited to have them as a guest today. So we're going to kind of talk about what it looks like as a young adult, hear their perspective. Y'all let me know what y'all think, okay? But anywho, so Sid, let's start with you. Since you graduated, y'all both graduated from college, two college graduates. Woohoo!
same year.
So let's hear what you think about it. Let's hear your perspective. Come on, talk to the people. Let the people know. What's your perspective now that you are adulting?
I want to be a child.
Not happening.
Why is that?
So tell the people. So tell us about when you graduated high school. What did you think was going to happen? What did you think life was going to be about?
I was going to get a child. I mean, not get a child. Get a job.
Yeah, don't get a child.
Get a job. Get a job in my career. Get married and have a child.
You thought what?
Get married.
I thought I was going to get a job in my career, get married, and have a child.
Okay,
And peace be with me.
didn't happen that way.
No, ma'am.
Okay, and so what did you think was going to happen when you graduated? Well, let's back up. So you were playing football.
I didn't want to go at all.
So you thought you were going to play football. You didn't even want to go to school.
Even college, I wasn't trying to play. I mean, I was cool walking on if I wanted to, but I didn't necessarily have to. I just went, really honestly, at first, you had to make me go. So we were going to be all the way blunt. And then when I kind of understood, the competitive nature in me, seeing that she was going to graduate, so I was like, yeah, I got to turn up. I can't be no only one didn't go. So then after I graduated, honestly, I thought I'd been at least halfway to a millionaire by now. Don't get it wrong, I ain't far, but I ain't exactly where I wanted to be either. My projection was at least making 3 times where everybody else, where I might be making dough, I should be doing a lot more.
So is it, being an adult, is it as easy as it looked like it was going to be, or is it more involved?
It's just stupid. It didn't even, truth be told, honestly, 1 out of 10 of a 10 being hard, really it's like a 6.5 as far as just overall difficulty. What make it worse is the people. Honestly,
when you say the people, what do you mean? Like the other adults?
Yeah, like the other grown folks, people you got to check on. Like if I wear glasses, I shouldn't have to call my optometrist 12 times just to get some contacts and some glasses. Bro, you got my prescription. Just give me a time frame. Why do I have to call you? Why do I make you do your job? They make life harder than having to talk to people, get different stuff done that you probably would have done. Just that part about it. And then as far as the job industry, if you going by the legal way, they being how they are with millennials. So the fact that your age is playing a group about it, on top of me being a black male, on top of just trying to get over those hurdles, is difficult for no reason. It don't even have to be honestly that difficult.
Yeah.
I feel like people are trying to make it difficult. That's how I feel.
So as a black male, African American male, you feel like the hurdles are extra because of that is not really necessary. Because if you've gone to school, if your background is clean, if you're doing what you're supposed to do.
I ain't gonna make no excuse and say just because I'm a black man in America, I just should get no leeway and no pass. No, but if I'm trying, I got the credentials that you asked for, yeah, come on with it. And if you don't, know my personality, it's gonna make me a dog and not just say, okay, cool, forget y'all, I work my own move and do what I want to do anyway.
And so what about you as a female who decided to obtain a degree in a field that's male dominated, and you now are finding, okay, so I thought I would just be able to get a job because of what? You thought it would look different?
Well, kind of to touch on what Savannah said though, like before I answer that question, for me, mine is different. Like I don't mind like the talking to other adults isn't what makes adulthood like hard. It would be like, you know how Black China mom be like, I got so many bills. So many bills. That's what make it hard, the bills. But like if I didn't
The
have
responsibility part.
yeah, or just maybe me having more money. If I had more money, that's really what it is. If I had more money, because I live my best life on the little funds that I do have. But if I had more
money,
I'd be fine.
Yeah,
but to get more money, how do you get more money legally? Work more.
It's not working more. It's the right job. The job.
So then goes back. Okay, so then that's the question. So then you went to school with the assumption that you would get a job making a certain amount of your income would be in a certain bracket that would afford you the lifestyle.
Man, no, they jacked it up with these interest rates. My bad.
Yeah,
Man.
the economy definitely has changed. But I knew it was
yeah.
a male dominated. To answer your question, I knew it was a male dominated field before I left. Like most of my classes, it was mostly males. It would be females here and there. But the sports industry has vastly changed. Like in the last 10 years, when it comes to women, like you're seeing way more women in like what you would consider like manager or supervisor roles now than you would have seen 5 years ago. You're seeing more women that own teams than you would have seen 5 years ago. Like the changes, it came fast.
Right.
So I don't think that was ever like, I mean, who cares if it's a man in the room? Me too. I'm not a man, but what's up? Like I can be in the room with you. So it was never that. I think it's just more so a lot of people want to be in the sports industry, men and women now. So it's like you have to be. It's just as competitive for the athletes on the field as it is behind the scenes. And I don't think a lot of people take that into consideration. Like it's competitive on the field. It's competitive off the field.
Okay.
How you feel about that?
So I think the lifestyle is the facade that I think most young adults have is that so the lifestyle you just assume you're gonna skate into this lifestyle because as parents we probably made it look easy, right? And so the reality kicks in and it's like, oh, so this is what they were having to do to provide this lifestyle for us. And so it's more to it than what it looks like. So it's not that it's not obtainable, and society will keep shifting. So yes, the interest rates, and to respond to what you were saying, yes, the interest rates are higher. Yes, there's a shift. Yes, okay, it costs more to purchase a home. Yes, it costs more to rent an apartment. Yes, it costs more but those shifts are never going to stop. So it just means as a young adult, you now have to pivot and say, okay, the way that I thought I was going to be able to come out the gate and do these things, maybe I need to step back. So a lot of young people who are like playing this game of, and I'm not even going to say it's playing a game. A lot of young adults are like, well, I'm moving away from home because when I move away from home, it looks like I'm really independent. And for those of you who had to move away because maybe your circumstances required you to move away, you do what you got to do because maybe your circumstances required that. That's cool. But if you have the kind of parents that are like, you could stay home, get your bearings, get your money together, make sure you got time to really take that time and prepare yourself because it's a beast out in the real world. And so make sure your credit is tight because you're going to need credit. Don't let nobody fool you. Your credit needs to be together. And if you haven't worked on your credit, this is the time you need to do it. You need to make sure you got money saved. So whatever it takes to sustain your lifestyle, you need to have at least 6 to 12 months of money saved. So if you get out there in the real world and start working, and your career goes south, maybe your job decides they're going to reduce workforce, maybe you're working for someone who's not treating you the way that you want to be treated, maybe work-life balance is not working and you have to walk away, you got a savings account that's like, okay, peace out, I don't have to take this. So staying at home longer with your family may afford you that. So don't rush out and get an apartment trying to prove something to somebody that, you know, I'm lit, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm balling out. Don't try to be cute. That's not cute to struggle. Struggling is never cute, okay? So if you can stay home, stay home. It's better to stay home and get your money together and your credit together and then pop out on somebody, because when you pop out, you really popping out versus you popping out and you fake popping out.
And let me just say this, man. If you gonna pop it, let it be joy. Don't go do the extra, like, don't go do the extra trying to get a bunch of rental cars. Don't go buy some fake designer unless you gonna go buy the real designer. Like, don't paint a picture or a facade, because really when you paint that, now you gotta keep that and maintain that. Especially if some people living like that, and then you hang out with people who really living like that, it's gonna, for one, expose you. I love to expose people, and then two, just genuinely, if people don't like you for who you are and you trying to go keep up an image or go hang with the celebrities, half of the people who move in here, they not talking about nothing. They going to buy a rental car, check their license plate. I'm telling you, if it's a Florida plate, it's probably a rental that's coming from the rental agency. Don't listen to them YouTubers thinking they going to buy a new car every week. Them boys are lying to y'all. Don't believe it. They selling you a dream, bro. If you got a decent car, rock out till you can pay cash or almost cash on the car. Even for my car guys, you know, we like V8s, V12, V10s. Bro, paying $11, $12, $13, $100 in a car note, not it. I'm definitely not doing it. But it's just not it. And don't do it because you're going to get tired of the car. Now you 20 grand upside down. Now you don't know how you're going to get out your car. Or it's just a facade of trying to kick it with everybody who make it look like they're getting. Half of them are spending $1,400 on a car note. And just like they was doing in high school, buy all the J's and the lights cut off. So don't be one of those either. At least have some money in your pocket. You can be clean, decent car at the same time. Don't go with a facade, especially out of town folks. Man, they not living like that.
And for the girls who like to go travel, you know, we do like to travel, but travel and not because you trying to keep up a facade, but you traveling because you can afford to travel. And as a young adult, this is the time of your life when you should be living your best life. You're not married. You don't have any kids. Well, some people don't have any kids, but the ones that don't have any kids, you should be, wait a minute, the ones who don't have any kids, who can afford to do it, you should be traveling, you should be experiencing life, you should be trying new things. You should be, new things, I ain't talking about the sex stuff now. We ain't gonna talk about that on this episode, okay?
Who said that?
I'm just saying.
She on her mind.
No, I'm not.
What is
Yeah, okay. So anyway, anywho,
Guys.
so you know, you should be doing things that you can look back and say, you know what, when I was in my 20s, I was living. So that when you reach that next phase of life, you can say, I experienced this, I went this place, I know what this is like, versus just saying, you know what, I barely did it, I barely experienced life because I just put myself in a situation where I couldn't do it. I couldn't manage my money. I didn't know how. And if you haven't managed your money well, it's okay. Everybody makes mistakes. It's okay. Hit the reset and go take you some classes, whether it's online, go read a book, go figure it out. I will be having some episodes at some point about money management, about credit, about financial literacy to help us get our, money together so we can get to the bag in some different areas. But get it together, because as a young adult, you just want to be able to prepare now so later on you can say, okay, I lived, I enjoyed myself, and I'm not waiting until I'm 50 or 60 years old to really say, okay, I got some money, I already got some money. Or if you're preparing for a family, some people do want a family early. I don't really understand it, so please let me know what y'all thinking about that, because I can't relate to why you would want to start a family early in your 20s, not on purpose anyway. I mean, accidents do happen, but if you wait, and you've had a chance to experience life, like you said, you thought that you were going to be able to experience that early. Okay, but now that you've had to reset and life is looking different, this is the time where you've been traveling, like you was going and doing your thing, and you've experienced a lot of different restaurants, and you're very diverse culturally, and so I think that's admirable that you do that. I think that's something that's going to be very beneficial to you, because you can hold a conversation about anything from a cricket
Did y'all know crickets kill themselves?
Oh my goodness. But you can hold a conversation about literally anything. Crickets, different music. And so I think those are things that are admirable about you, not just because you're my daughter, but because you're very good. Don't try to wink at me, girl. But anyway, I just think that is definitely something that I think you should do as a younger person to really do that. But life is different. It's not easy. It's not easy no matter what age you are, but definitely as a young adult trying to figure it out. So I definitely get it. I do understand. I'm very empathetic to a person trying to figure it out. What I'm not empathetic to is a lazy person or a person who makes excuses. There's never an excuse. There's always a way to go back and kind of hit the reset and figure it out. So we're all about being the best version of ourselves. So if you're not doing it now, figure it out. Go find a way to figure it out and then go back and get to it and start all over again. You're still alive. You still got your faculties. You're obviously listening to me on this episode. So go reach out to somebody and let somebody help you get to it. But I thank you guys for kind of being on here. And so is there anything else either one of you wanted to share?
Yes. A wise woman once named Keola used to tell me.
Is that why you're on the Let's Talk About It with Keola episode?
I believe so.
Okay, we'll get to it, girl.
You're an adult much longer than you're a child.
Who said that?
She just said.
One of the 3 wise men.
Okay.
12, was it 3? 12? How many wise men was it?
Yeah.
You're an adult.
You are.
Much longer than you are a child.
You are.
And I think it's okay that it's hard. I think that's the part for me, it's not the fact that it's hard. It's the reminding yourself what you're going for and that it's okay that it's hard.
Okay.
You just, as long as you grow and not staying the same within the hard process, because it's never gonna quote unquote get easier. But the more you want, the more you're gonna have to go after. You know how easy it is. Just, and I'm not knocking nobody who's doing it. You know how easy it is to get a job at McDonald's. Like you said, start a family too early and struggle for the rest of your life. And you can call and say, well, look, it is what it is. We're gonna struggle. We live in the hood, live in the like that's an easy option. It's easy just to take what somebody hands you. Of course, it's harder to be a general manager, a director of a company, to be not only a sports attorney, to be a women's sports attorney. People hype up the people who made it, like LeBron's. I can't think of that man's name right now. Rich Paul. Like, okay, that was LeBron's friend. He put him. Man, you don't know what Rich Paul went through or what LeBron might have paid for him to go to school to get certifications in order to be his age. I know good well. You telling me I make $100 million and you think I'm gonna just because you my friend just go out there and get this cut? Right. Come on. So it's the going through the hardest, the figuring out what networking means. It's the figuring out what money management, and then taking them trials where you say, well, shoot, I blew my money. Okay, you blew it, you learned a lesson. Now what are you going to do next time? Because you're going to keep getting opportunities to get some money. Right. You never just get one opportunity in life and it's just over with. Right. You have to, you dig a hole, you're in a hole, then you got to dig yourself out of the hole. Once you get out of the hole, don't get back in the same hole. It's okay if you get into another hole, but just not the same. Don't be a repeat. Like I say often when I play sports, you got me once, you're not going to get me twice. Right. You got me one time, cool, I give you kudos. For the same mistake, I won't make the same one twice.
What's the saying? Fool me one time, shame on you.
Fool me 2 times, shame on me. Right.
Fool me 3 times, load up the chopper and let it rain on
you. Fool me 3 times, you're slow.
Slow. Slow, not like that kind of slow, but you know what I mean. But I do, man. So yeah, and I commend you on being culturally diverse and even the sports Asia thing. But I think more so, us for millennials, we got to take on how life has what's happening. Accept it. Don't go look for any scapegoat. That means don't go start trying to either take yourself out the game, figure nobody's listening to you, or go drink your problems or smoke your problems away. Like, that's never going to fix nothing. It's only going to actually cause another problem. And just go ahead and look, this hard it is what it is. If you say you ain't got nobody, you do. Because we on, let's talk about it with Keola. Comment how you feeling, let her talk through it. You can go through different counselors. I don't know why as a culture we don't see counselors, friends. You got somebody, grandma. You can always get information. Somebody listen to you. And then you just keep progressing forward. Everybody's not supposed to make it. Some people going to give up. It is what it is. As long as you keep striving to be a better you every day, I think it just as a generation, I think we'd be cool.
What's the scripture in the Bible? Are you Bible thumpers? You tell me the scripture. Many are called,
but few are
Few
chosen. Yes.
Yeah.
And the thing go back to not having anyone. I think also people sometimes are misled in that and ungrateful, because yes, there are in reality sometimes people are coming from traumatic and broken situations, and I am by no means going to ever minimize that, because I know some people personally that have been in some really traumatic situations. I personally have not been a person who grown up in the most perfect environment myself. That's another episode, because I don't want to start crying on this one. But what I know for sure is that even if you're missing someone in one part of your life, God always puts someone else to replace them in another person. So maybe you don't have a father, maybe you don't have a mother, but maybe he gave you a grandmother, maybe he gave you an aunt, an uncle, a cousin, a friend, a neighbor. And so, I'm going to use this parable, and I use this parable a lot. And I heard this from Joel Osteen, who gave this example, that there was a person who died and went to heaven, and they got to heaven and they told God, I died, I'm up here in heaven, and why didn't you save me? Why did you let me drown? And God said, I sent you help. And the person said, no, you didn't. You let me drown. And the person was like, no, you didn't. I stood out there in the water. I waited, and I was waiting in the water looking for you. And I kept waiting, looking for a cruise ship. And God said, I sent you a canoe. I sent you a steamboat. I sent you. And so the moral of the story is sometimes we're looking for the cruise ship. Maybe your help is a paddle boat. Maybe your help is a canoe, floating. It's something else. Right. And so stop always looking for the bigger thing and recognize the smaller things that are available to you. And so always is not going to come as a kaboom. It may come as a tiny little splash. And be grateful for the small things that are coming along. And especially, again, if you are a young adult and you're trying to figure it out, and so the thoughts are coming to you saying you're worthless, kill yourself, off yourself, your life not going as planned, nobody cares. That's a lie. That's a lie. You are worthy. You wouldn't be here if you weren't. Yes. You were created for a purpose. Every human being on the face of this earth was created for a divine purpose. There's no one but you can do something that you were created to do. So don't buy into the lie. You just have to find out what your purpose is and then execute that once you find out. But for sure that you are loved. And if you don't know what that is, if your parents are not being what you expected them to be, so what? It's somebody else out there that don't care. Right. And I tell my kids all the time, I want you to be better than I am. I don't expect you to be me. I expect you to be a better version of me, because there are things that I fell short on that I still fall short on, but I'm expecting you to be a better version of me than I am, because as a parent, you're an extension of me. So I'm expecting you to get better. And when you start your family, I'm expecting your kids to be better than you are. Don't start your families no time soon, no. But, cause I ain't got time to be nobody's nana, okay?
Yeah.
So anyway, I still got stuff I'm trying to do. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all know what I mean. So anywho, I just want to thank you guys for watching today. There you have it. Please make sure that you like, subscribe, and follow on YouTube for full episodes, and stay connected on TikTok and YouTube. And love you guys without judgment. And thank you for watching. See you next time.
My back hurt.